That's a very interesting question, but also very difficult question. I think where I would start with the beginning, the LinkedIn's vision, right? It's to create, economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. So with that in mind, balancing there's differences while maintaining a cohesive, global content policy requires continuous dialogue and dialogue with local legal experts, dialogue within our teams internally, but also the internal dialogue that every one of us working in this space, has to conduct. For example, a given situation related to content policy might be, too close to home, so the usual practice would be to sort of recuse oneself to make sure that we look at the problem that we're trying to solve from a objective perspective. So that's preliminary where I would start. And second of all, LinkedIn being a specific purpose platform as opposed to other platforms that are, general purpose platforms. LinkedIn is a professional platform, so keeping up with that professional expression is pivotal in what we do here within the content policy team. Now, beyond just this, as LinkedIn creates a unique, platform that supports meaningful professional conversations, it is likely that across, different jurisdictions, there might be expectations that members might have. So LinkedIn's role, as a global platform, is to make sure that we create a space for everyone to be able to express themselves again within the boundaries of professional expression. Now, what are the challenges that we faced? I will dovetail back to me, as an individual. The challenge is, contending with the fact that we're dealing with a tool, the internet, that is big, both in terms of size, reach, scale, speed. So dealing with all of those components requires us to have humility when trying to tackle problems that are not only local, national, regional, but also international, but also borderless, because it is the internet. But going back to challenging a core principle is what has maintained LinkedIn to remain the most trusted platform out there. I'm a huge believer in governance frameworks, right? Of having clearly defined swim lanes across the organization, meaning that we, as a platform, have to be crystal clear about the problems that we're facing and how we're going to go about them. So defining who is responsible for a given problem is crucial. Now, on how to tackle this with regulators. I mean, LinkedIn prioritizes relationships with regulators across the world. We also have contact with advocacy groups. We have contact with community leaders to understand local perspectives. So that's what happened externally. Internally, cross-functional teams are integral, to ensuring that policy adjustments are informed by diverse insights, right? Diverse insights and training programs that are provided to internal teams are aligned in a way that factor in local nuances. And when I say local nuances, it could be the legal nuances, but also the cultural nuances that our audience and our members expect us to understand and to operationalize as best as possible. Now, on cross-functional partnership and collaboration, we have to adopt a. When I say we have to adopt, I'm not sort of distilling advice to anyone out there, but it's me personally and what has worked thus far in my career is to adopt a holistic approach. And by holistic approach to policy development and enforcement, what I mean is partners that we collaborate with. So anyone from, people in the legal team, people in the engineering team, people in the comms team, people in the data science team, people in the product team, people in the trust and safety team, so that the enforcement body, by integrating sort of diverse perspective, cross-functional teams can help create well-rounded policies that are operationally sound and culturally sensitive, right? So having regular engagement with these partners, strengthening LinkedIn's ability to respond effectively to emerging challenges by fostering a cohesive and informed approach to maintaining a safe and trusted platform. So it really is about that, coming to every challenge with the idea that we have a common goal, which is to solve a problem. So a well-defined problem to me is have the job done to coming about a solution, but it has to be done collectively and without the assumption that every content-related problem has to have a content policy solution. As I said previously, we have a global set of policies, which means that a policy is applied within a broad scope and has to be applied consistently across all geos where LinkedIn is available. Maintaining region-specific standards is the approach that others have taken in this industry. Our responsibility, here at LinkedIn is to take a local lens to the way we develop and enforce those content policy, taking language and cultural nuances into account. But at the same time, the core principle is what comes back to mind, as always. We feel the responsibility to shield, our members from harmful content, so then we can provide ample space for professional expression. And those are the non-negotiable, right? Preventing harm and allowing space for civil, for constructive, and hopefully informative information for people to use, for them to gain access to professional opportunities. That being said, regional adaptations account for cultural nuances, ensuring that policies are not only compliant, with those local laws that you mentioned earlier, but also resonate with the local audience. There needs to be, from a member's perspective, and I'm speaking from my own experience as well. When I go onto a platform, I expect the platform to somewhat speak my language or speak a language that I understand. So I know that the platform's infrastructure, the platform's product offerings are maybe not tailored to my needs, but at least offer me enough space for me to evolve and to find something that is for me. I love the word resilience because is it resilience in terms of making sure that the castle, like the castle made of cards, as sort of crumble or come crashing down, or is it resilience in the sense that despite the technological advances, we maintain and are able to still stand true to our core principles? Is it resilience in terms of how do we go about nurturing and maintaining the trust that we've established with our members? So that's the sort of the semantic. Now to your question more specifically. Looking ahead, and I'm sure this won't come as a surprise to you, but one of the biggest opportunities lie in leveraging AI. The advances that have been made in the past decades have been tremendous, right? So leveraging AI and machine learning to not only enhance content moderation accuracy, but also its scalability across diverse regions. That being said, the challenge remains in ensuring that these technologies are fit for purpose, meaning that going back to what LinkedIn stands for, as a real identity platform, we owe to our members this human feel, this true human feel to help foster this trusted relationship that we have with them. Another significant challenge is the pace at which the regulatory landscape is evolving, where platform must continuously adapt to those new laws that are emerging. Lastly, there's a piece about accountability beyond knowing about the local laws, knowing about the legal frameworks. It is also about being accountable, meaning that what we aim for is excellence in our decision making when it comes to enforcing those policies, not only developing them, but also enforcing those policies. But at the same time, one cannot assume that members are going to keep trusting the platform that they evolve in if there's a lack of trust. So accountability to me is at least twofold, maybe manyfold for others, but at least twofold, meaning that, we aim to apply our policies consistently while at the same time recognizing that we may make mistakes. When we do make a mistake on a piece of content that should not have been, moderated the way he was moderated, the sensible thing to do is to own up to it, own up to the mistake that was made, and then engage in, where possible, in a dialogue with the member, to take maybe a second look at the piece of content at issue, to ensure that there's a continuous and sustainable sense of trust between the platform and its member. Well, first off, I'm excited about attending the summit. I have heard about it through industry peers, but also even colleagues at LinkedIn who've been to the summit prior. So it's very exciting. Exciting also because it would allow us trust and safety professionals or trust and safety aficionados or people that are interested in that field to meet and to discuss, because and this is not for me, by the way. I'm originally from Benin in West Africa, and I grew up hearing this saying, and when I was a kid, it really didn't mean anything to me, but now it resonates a lot more. So the saying goes something along the lines of, if you want to go fast, you can go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So my aim is essentially to be immersed in conversations where I can learn from others, and hopefully engage in conversations where there's no sense of competition. There's no sense of gatekeeping, as a very popular term among Gen Zs these days. So we won't be gatekeeping, and I think this is what I'm mostly looking forward to there, because having different minds around a table is not only fruitful because of knowledge sharing, but the human aspect of it, as well. Being able to be in close proximity with others that share the same, maybe not the same passion. I'm passionate about this, but I don't expect everyone to be passionate about the topic, but at least share some of their experiences, and for me to learn, and for others to learn, because ultimately what we're all trying to do is to make the internet a safer place. And if it is safe for me, it is safe for you, Mali, and it's safe for your neighbor, it's safe for everybody else. And evolving online in a safe manner allows for, again, civil and constructive and informative expression, which is, again, what we aim to cultivate here at LinkedIn, but elsewhere. So curiosity is the keyword.